What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Recently, rise to occasion, a fellow PvP player and YouTuber. You probably know him, right? He's one of the best battlers in the entire competitive circuit. He won yet another regional championship, this time using a pretty unique Pokemon. I'm going to be showcasing it here today. It's Florges, however, not on the standard moveset. Normally, you see a lot of people on Trailblaze as well as Chilling Water, but Rise opted for that Fairy-type Charge Attack Disarming Voice to be able to have a little bit more play into the Dragons and a lot better neutral play. While I think Trailblaze is a very good move for Florges to have, there's a lot of situations where that grass type coverage can be very helpful. I can see exactly why Disarming Voice was a good call, and I'm excited to see what it can do here today. Really quickly, before we get into the battles, I want to say if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It helps out quite a bit, but let's get into the battles and see what Disarming Voice Florges can do. Florges into Malamar. There we go. They might not expect a Fairy-type Charge Attack here, so if they stay in, this is pretty good for us. They are staying in. Alright. I'm just going to full send the Disarming Voice here. They probably don't expect this, right? If they shield, then I don't even know what to say. Yeah, nice. Okay. That's most of the Malamar gone. They might swap to save the energy? No, they're just sacrificing Malamar here. I mean, Foul Play or Superpower both are resisted. That's not enough for a Hyper Beam. So we just farm down here. We get rid of one of the most annoying Pokemon in the game to try to deal with just immediately. Alright. I don't want to let a farm down happen here. I am hard-walled by this on my Florges, and while this isn't the best matchup, I'd say, for Licky Licky, it's still very playable. And we survive a Hydro Cannon here, so we're just going to no-shield this. They throw in CMP, okay. Well, that's fine, I guess. I could have got a full rollout sneak through, but I didn't really expect them to throw an alignment. I thought that I would be a little bit tricky by doing that. But Licky Licky here is still going to put in quite a bit of work in this matchup. If I ever land a Shadow Ball too, that just makes it so my Florges likely is going to be good enough to deal with the rest of this Pokemon. And we do just get his shield there too. Well, okay. I guess I let a catch happen. So I was trying to wait for the animation to come through, which we know sometimes doesn't work in this game. But this is so fine. We have a Disarming Voice for a reason, right? This is why Rise to Occasion decided to use this moveset. Because now you have Charge Attack pressure here against the Altarias. That doesn't actually knock out, so they get a Sky Attack through. That's annoying, but it's still fine. We don't need our Florges this game. We just come back in with our Licky Licky here. Farm up a bit more, and now Corviknight should close out this game. Dude, they just love throwing on alignment. I don't know why, but it's working out for him here. I'm going to shield this up because I feel like I can swap out after this, right? Yeah, and then I can just pay back. And that should win. It's a shame that my Disarming Voice didn't knock out that Altaria. That would have been a really good showcase, I think, here. Oh, they let that go? Okay, well, I sent attack down then. I think that would have been a really nice showcase of what Florges could do here with Disarming Voice, but that is the bad thing. It's a good move. It's not the best move in the game, though, right? So it did put in a lot of work into this team, but it could have been better. Hydro Cannon might be able to kind of two-shot us from that range, but yeah, they don't have any HP left, so... We see Florges into Shadow Alolan Ninetales. Okay, Battle of the Fairy types here. And this is honestly a little bit awkward for me, just because I do know that they outpace us, right? And I don't love that. But I can go for the Chilling Water here, and that is going to hurt a decent amount. Normally, whenever I see this Pokemon, I imagine Euphis in the back. I imagine potentially Jellicent into the backline too. I think Jellicent is the most likely thing to see in the backline with this, so we'll see. And we'll see if we can get a Disarming Voice off here. They likely just throw instantly, which is one before I get my move, but that's fine. Yeah, we can shield this up. At least chip this down a little bit more. And if there is a Jellicent in the backline, honestly, my backline is pretty good into it. If there's something else, we'll see. Alright, well, Chilling Water again here. At this point, we're putting them into a range where potentially I could knock them out with some rollout damage before they get a move off against our Licky Licky here. And that is what I want to set up. They have to throw immediately. I think they'd probably get a move off against us, but I think that's fine into our Licky Licky because they're -2. Honestly, there's a chance here that maybe going for a Corviknight farm down could be a decent play too, but they likely could swap if I come in Corviknight. But I think the Corviknight energy is actually a little bit more scary for them, because I get more energy out of this matchup just in general. So we're going to come in here, no shield, a -2 Weather Ball, and see how they want to play this out. They do let the farm down happen. Is there a Ufisk in the back line? If so, I guess we'll see what we can do. Whoa. Well, that's not exactly what I was expecting to see here. We see a Swampert, a regular Swampert, not Shadow. I guess that makes some sense too. They no shield, that makes sense as well, I guess. I do survive this attack here, but it will put us down kind of low. But Mudshot damage is not going to do a lot to us. So I should be able to just overfarm here a little bit, go for 3 air cutters if I need to. I could try to go for a payback, but if they shield that, I'd be in a bit of a bad spot. So I just want to consistently whittle this Pokemon down. I almost wouldn't be surprised to see a Flyer in the back line. I would not be surprised if it's like a Fearow or something. I've seen that team in the past too, actually. They just let that go down. Wow, okay. Well, it is actually the Lyle Jeffs team. This is a team that I think that a friend of mine, Lyle Jeffs III, was running. So that's why I kind of figured that's what would be in the backline. No Jellicent, no Ufisk. But luckily, Licky here is going to be in a really good spot here now. Rollout, obviously, super effective against this. And Body Slam is so spammy. We survived the Pex and the Drill Pex. We still have a shield as well. So even though they can outpace us, it doesn't really matter. That nice air cutter chip damage that we got has put them into a range where now my Licky should just be able to knock him out here with a Body Slam. Big Body Slam. More rollout damage. And, I mean, shield this up, 1 rollout, and then Body Slam. And that should be game over for them. I might survive this Drill Peck here, but I'm not going to risk it. I think that, honestly, a Drill Peck plus 2 Pecks after would come close to knocking us out. So let's not play our risky on the first game. Let's just make sure we get the knockout here. Body Slam should be enough. Fearow's not very bulky. There we go. Let's go. We got the knockout. A pretty good game number 1, I'd say. All right, next game. Florges into... Oh, Shadow Scizor. Okay, I don't like this. That might be a hot take. This is a bad lead, though, I think. So we're going to swap out here and see what we can do. Rollout damage at least is neutral here. Oh, no. Okay, I don't know why. I thought they just caught on a Licky themselves there. I saw a Monotype. I just assumed. Luckily, no, it's a Blastoise. It's a Blastoise. This is way more playable than if it was what I thought just happened there a second ago. 5, 6. Ooh, you know what? I might have messed up here. This could be a Skull Bash. I'm going to shield this just to make sure. Yep. I should have thrown a little bit sooner here, but I want to win Switch if I can. That Scizor is so scary here this game. They could no-shield this if they're crazy. They do, actually. Okay. What do we want to do here? I mean, at this point, that Scizor has 6 bullet punches, right? Which is a little bit scary. Okay, well, they let that go, so maybe they bring Scizor back in, they throw energy. Okay, and they throw on alignment here, so they're at 9, so likely 4, unless they Trailblaze for some reason. And this is a much more manageable spot for my Corviknight to deal with, as long as no boost happens. Okay, good. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, you know, the Rise to Occasion moveset here, not actually the best in this matchup, I will say. But because we have Disarming Voice, I mean, it's still a decent neutral attack here, right? It's going to be able to chunk him down, and I'm going to invest in my Corviknight, hopefully, to win us this game. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's still a good amount of damage here. Trailblaze wouldn't two-shot anyway. Yeah, we just go straight Disarming. They're at 6, so an Ice Beam, it looks like. 7, 8, 9. I don't think I ever shield my Florges at this point. That would be a way to likely lose this game. And they have to throw immediately here if they don't want to take another attack. I mean, I'm so fine with this catch here. You might be wondering why I would let this happen, and why I wouldn't go for the Chilling Water. Well, the first thing is because I could have reacted, but I didn't choose to. But also, yeah, we probably just still get a shield there off of that, and that's great for me, because this Shadow Scizor is pretty low at this point. It's in Air Cutter range. They might get 2 Night Slashes off here, which will put me kind of low. I don't love that necessarily, but as long as I'm outside of Bubble Down range, I should be in a good spot. And Night Slash, okay, well, not if they boost. I was going to say Night Slash does less damage than Ice Beam, I believe, but they do boost, so I have to shield this up. That boost is going to make this a little bit closer than I'd like, because now I'm going to take 2 boosted bullet punches here, which might put me into range where an Ice Beam could be enough to knock us out now. Alright, so they have an Ice Beam loaded right now. I would love a boost right now. We got a boost, okay. If I survive an Ice Beam plus 1 more bubble, I think I win this game. They do Ice Beam, so no Hydro Pump. Oh, I'm good here. Nice. Despite not having Trailblaze for this matchup, we're still at a pretty good spot, just with how neutral Corviknight is into that Shadow Scizor Azumarill core. Air Cutter should be enough after that boost especially. Let's go. Okay. That was a little bit dicey there at the end, but we'll take it. Alright, next game. We'll see Florges into Shadow Scizor. Can I please find a matchup here that's actually good for Florges with Disarming Voice? Please. This is the Rise to Occasion Regional Champion moveset, and we're getting let down right now. With that said, this still does quite a bit of damage here. We might get a shield, who's to say? Maybe they shield the first attack from Florges. Nah, they're at 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I can no-shield this. It's just a Surf or a Body Slam. They're at back-to-back Surf plus Body Slam right now, though, so let's see what they want to do. Okay, so they're at 4. Whoa! That's a bold play. Bringing in the Sableye into Licky Licky. After that Surf, though, it makes some sense, right? We're in range where I could get knocked out here by a foul play. But because the switch clocks are so desync at this point, I'm not in a terrible position. They're at 6. They have a Body Slam loaded. Keep that in mind right now. I'd love to be able to swap out here, but I can't quite yet. We'll just go for the Shadow Ball here. I threw on alignment just so I could overfarm a little bit more, just in case they do decide to let this go. That way I'll have more energy for the backline. Nice. Celio likely comes back in and Body Slams. Maybe they have to go for Surf here. They do likely Body Slam. I think that's only 5, so they're not at the Surf just yet. I don't think I want to give a farm down over here, so I'm going to swap. That's a Seed Bomb. Okay, so this is actually a spot where their Rise to Occasion Disarming Voice moveset could come in clutch here. Because I have Disarming Voice, right? It's going to do some neutral damage against them. The big question, though, is do we get a shield here? Or do they just let this go? They do let it go. And now, at this point, I mean, they probably have to shield a Chilling Water. If they don't, they're just going to be in farm down range. Nice. Okay. We bring in our Corviknight here immediately, because at this point, they're debuffed, right? There's no reason for me to shield this. No shield, go for Air Cutters, and hope that I have enough right now to win this game. Let's knock this out if we can. They will get their Incinerate damage to be back up to what it used to be before the debuff, though. But I don't want to take Powder Snow damage, or, you know, if I get a shield here, that's also interesting. Oh, shoot. Okay. That's not good. Okay. Okay. We shield the Body Slam bait. That's really bad. That's bad. That's bad. We just lost this game. I tried to go for a catch here, and I think I'm my own undoing here this game. We went for the catch, and it gave them so much energy. No, man. Okay, that's on me. That's actually so on me there. I thought they were going to throw at some point, but they just overfarmed. Ah, yikes. Alright, we got our next opponent here. And when you have a dog, you have good luck, right? Where's my Trailblaze, man? Rise to Occasion, I'm going to sue you. This is fine. We don't need good matchups. Because, like, what if my opponent here thinks I'm on the right moveset when they swap out? Hold on. This could be good. We can go for the Chilling Water. Why are they ABA rollout users, by the way? That's kind of crazy. They're at 3 right now, so they're 1 away here from a Shadow Ball. I would love to be able to catch that. No catch. Good patience by them. But I mean, at this point, they're a debuffed Licky Licky. I'm not that scared of them. So I can just go for the overfarm here. Go for a Body Slam in just a second against this to knock him out. Or maybe, honestly, at this point, just overfarm. Okay, we'll throw now. They're at, like, back-to-back body slams. So if they let this go, that is a lot of energy down the drain for this Licky Licky. I believe they're at 4 rollouts on that Blastoise right now. Okay, they shield that too. That's fine. Blastoise does come back in. They were able to clear their debuffs on Licky Licky, which is a smart play by them. But Shadow Ball here is going to do a pretty decent chunk of damage to them. Or not, it gets a shield, I guess. This could be a Skull Bash, but I would be a little bit surprised to see that here. Because at this point, I'm not in Skull Bash range. They do Skull Bash us. Skull Bash is such a violent-sounding attack, isn't it? But Shadow Ball should come through here, do a decent chunk of damage itself. Licky Licky is still around for our opponent here. Keep that in mind. Alright, I should survive whatever they throw right now. I'm just going to invest in my Corviknight this game. The Hydro, nice. I'm going to throw on Alignment here, because I don't know if they're going to try to go for like a combo play with that Licky Licky. If they were, I wanted to snipe them down. But since they don't, I do just get my Disarming Voice into the Blastoise as well, which is pretty good damage. Porcelain in the back, okay. They have so much energy this game. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, man. Like, when do I start shielding, you know? I think I shield the next move here from this Pokemon. Like, that's... I have to. 9. The problem is I don't knock him out here with a Payback. I think I need a Payback plus an Air Cutter. Have enough damage here. And even an Air Cutter is not quite enough yet. Oh, I tried to call that. Not quite good enough, though. Alright, Nightshade. Hydro Cannon. Okay, well, so here's the thing. Licky Licky, I believe, has a move on it, right? But I should be able to catch it here, and then overfarm. This is likely a Shadow Ball. Yep, okay, we caught the Shadow Ball. We have an Air Cutter loaded. That Corsola is not quite yet at a move. I'm just going to throw immediately here, because I know they have a Body Slam, and I don't want to be any lower than I already am. And we'll see what we can do here. If I get a boost, I'm so happy. Nice, because now an Air Cutter just knocks out. Okay, dude, what a game. What a game. We got the dog cameo on one of the best games that we've seen today so far. Corviknight here, able to dance around, pick up the knockout. That was a fun one. Let's go. Alright, next opponent. We'll see Florges into Shadow Marowak. This right here is not as good of a lead as it should be, but it's not bad, right? The big question's going to be if they try to go for an alignment throw on a Bone Club here. But they don't. They try to go for a sneak. So that means I do get a debuff off first, which is huge because now the Bone Club's not going to do quite as much damage here. And Marowak's actually a pretty bad matchup for my Licky Licky to see. So I think this is pretty fine. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually catch a Bone Club. It's a debuffed move. They're in Body Slam range, so this is going to be a lot less efficient for them. And if they're staying in the lead against my Florges, that's gotta mean that something in the backline does not want to see Florges, right? Well, okay. We see a Basti here. This leads me to believe that Forretress could be the final Pokemon. That was like a classic team. It doesn't quite make as much sense in the current meta, where people are running... what's it called? The guy. The Gourgeist. The other Pokemon that we just saw win a regional champion this season. This weekend, even. I mean, they're going to maybe try to farm us down here. I don't know if they quite can. This is going to be an interesting game. They have a Bone Club left over on the other guy. Honestly, man, Licky Licky's putting in some real damage here, huh? I could have gone for a CMP there. I don't think that would have been super worth it, so that's why I didn't, but it could have been a decent play. I'll have to shield a Flamethrower here, but I think that's worth it. I'm worried about it being a Volt Switch Forretress. That would be kind of scary, honestly. But we'll see. Big Flamethrower. If they let me get a farm down, I'm happy. Okay. They do let the full farm down happen. That gives me a little bit of hope, maybe. Okay, it's actually just like a different third here. We're at 1. Likely we get a shield here. If I had Trailblaze, this actually wouldn't be a bad spot to Trailblaze in. If I can farm down in 5 Fairy Winds, I'd be really happy, but I don't know if I can. This might be crazy. I'm gonna no-shield this, because I know I don't farm down in time. And I'm hoping at this point that my Corviknight here... Actually, maybe I probably could have farmed down in time. That might be a misplay by me then. But maybe my Corviknight, if I get an early boost, can still deal with this Galarian Moltres. I might have wanted to shield my Florges looking back on it here. A boost would be huge. No boost. That's probably game over here, because I don't 3-shot just barely with these air cutters. I didn't have faith in my Fairy Wind damage, but saying I was able to knock him out there. Yeah, a boost would have been huge on that one, not gonna lie. I mean, they likely fly us. If they have payback, that's not great, because then I lose to the payback. Okay. If I shielded the payback, honestly, there could have been a chance too. Dang it, man. Okay. Well, that's on me. That's on me. That's a 3-2 set to start. I feel like I could have won, honestly, both the games that I lost here. Maybe some misplays. That's why we're learning, though. That's why we're trying to learn how to use this Pokemon a little bit better. All right, next game. We'll see Florges into Azumarill. All right. Well, this is weird. This is where I would love to have access to Trailblaze, but since we don't, we'll just try our best here to dance around. They're at a play rough after one more bubble, and I would expect them to throw that instantly, so we'll see what they want to do. Big Disarming Voice, we see a no-shield, and I mean, even though that's not a Trailblaze, right, it still does a decent amount of damage. They don't throw. Yikes, and we see a Pangoro come in here. I don't love Pangoro. I'll be honest, that's a bit of a scary Pokemon, but I do have Florges, which is a decent wall to it, and 2 Body Slams are gonna basically knock them out. 8, and that was a CMP. This might be crazy, but I'm gonna shield this up. I feel like they close combat here. Yep. And I don't want to sacrifice my Licky Licky this early. They're at 3 right now, so they have another close combat here after 2 more Karate Chops. But likely we're gonna see 4 be thrown. Oh, they throw on bad timing there, actually. Interesting. So they're at 1 right now. Dude. Okay. Not exactly what I wanted to have happen there, but okay. I wanted to get some Fairy Wind damage into that -4 dude. Hydro Pump? Well, that's why we didn't catch the move, huh? They are insane. They are just insane with this, this Azumarill. Okay, this is not looking great. We'll see what we can do, though. I don't know. I could bring in Licky Licky here, but then I'm stuck against that Pangoro. I'm going to take a Hydro Pump in the process, but I'm going to get a lot of energy out of this. And see what we can do. Ow. This is so much, actually. Alright, I have about as much energy as I can get here. Air Cutter, more than enough, will knock out this Pokemon. And if there's like a Ghost type in the back, maybe there's still some play for us. We'll see. They're at 1 on that Pangoro. They bring in the Gourgeist. And that's not looking amazing for us, I'll be real. I mean, I knock this out, but at what cost? The cost of my Licky Licky, right? I need to be 1 rollout away from back-to-back here, and I know I'm not. I'm 2. So we are going to get close combated right now, right? I do believe that's going to be the case. If not, maybe somehow Licky Licky can pull it out. Oh, man! The Simul swap by them back into the Azu was actually devastating for us. Catching a Hydro Pump on our Florges was not great. Dang it, man. Alright, next game. Florges into Morpeko. Okay, This is weird, because I have to use shields first here, actually. I kind of wish I had Trailblaze for this Pokemon. That is kind of the moral of the story with a lot of these that we're seeing. Trailblaze would have been nice for a lot of Pokemon that we've seen. Likely they go for a bait here, but I'm not going to risk it. Yeah, they do just straight Aura Wheel. If I would have no-shielded that, that could have been kind of bad for us. But either way, just getting a shield here, or a lot of damage into Morpeko is going to be very nice for our Corviknight later on this game. Corv wants to avoid this at all costs. Oh my goodness, they let that go? People are too smart nowadays. Back in the good old days, I could have got a catch there. But they were patient. No air cutter catch for me. I was thinking they'd try to go instantly for an air cutter, expecting chilling water to come through from my Florges into them, but well played. They are patient, but not really in a bad spot for me either, because I feel like at this point, I do still survive 2 paybacks. I can chip them down quite a bit, and since I did get some Fairy Wind damage, they're actually in 2-shot range, whereas I'm not. And they also cleared their boost on Morpeko. But another thing we have to keep in mind is that since the switch clocks are desynced, they could try to either go for like a catch here, or even just swap out now and try to get some Thundershock damage into us. Which is what ends up happening. I would be surprised if they shield this up, but they could. They're at 1. Yeah, they let that go. That's fine. Corviknight might come back in here. I would assume it does, right? Yeah. And now Chilling Water, while this won't knock out, it is going to chip them down quite a bit here. I could have come in Licky Licky, but I feel like Licky Licky is going to be better as a surprise pick in the backline. Nice, we actually got a CMP there too, so not taking this move before the debuff is really nice. There's the air cutter, so no like payback Iron Head shenanigans at the very least. And since that debuff came through, I think I can just Fairy Wind this all the way down. I think that's the play. Air Cutter's not the most oppressive move in the game. Sand Attack's not going to do much. They're still at -1 thanks to not getting a boost on that first attack. And, I mean, now, we just get the Disarming Voice off. They don't expect this. They haven't seen it yet. And then I get the Chilling Water to get the shield, right? As long as I survive the Incinerate, that is. Nice. Chilling Water is going to get a shield for sure. Even if it doesn't, Licky Licky at that point might just even Body Slam and roll out this down. Oh yeah, let's go. There's that shield. They're debuffed. Body Slam could be thrown into them if I want to, but I think just going for double Shadow Ball is the play. Debuffed Seed Bomb is going to be so sad for them here. Dude, that is nothing. That is nothing. Poor guy. I think their one win condition here is hoping that I Body Slam bait them for some reason, so I'm just going to full send. They likely are going to try to switch out and clear their debuff, but at that point, I just get a farm down. They're trying to catch, or no, they're just top lefting. Let's go. Alright, next game. Florges into Ninetales. Okay, well, I don't love this Pokemon. We've seen it before. It could be on Charm. I've seen, like, one Charm A9 recently. Actually, it is. Okay. The last time, though, that I saw a Charm A9, I'm pretty sure the backline was extremely weak to Licky Licky. So, let's see if that's the case again. They're at 5, so they have a Weather Ball right now. I think I survive this, and I can get off my next move here. So we're just going to no-shield this, try to go for a Chilling Water after one more Fairy Wind, and see if we do survive. Yeah, we do. Nice. Well, I do wish I had Trailblaze here, but honestly, this is fine too. We have such good pacing in the backline on our Licky Licky that we should be in a really good spot here no matter what. I think it's a Jellicent in the back. So I'm going to shield this up. Shadow Gator is going to do more damage than a Jellicent would into us. They're at 8 right now, so 3 after that Hydro Cannon, 2 away from the next move. They likely shield this because they see Licky Licky and they're not super happy. And we get a full rollout here. We're at 1 Shadow Claw, but because of that rollout sneak, we should be able to 1 and throw, and not even take a move here. But they might try to go for a catch on something. Yeah, they catch on Ninetales, or they attempt to at least. Body Slam would not be enough here, so I'm going to go for the full-on Shadow Ball, which could be a misplay if they shield, I guess, but I expected no shield here no matter what. Gator, if it comes back in, will land a Hydro Cannon into us, but by doing so, they give us a massive rollout down. If they come in Jellicent, though, then I just survive 2 Surfs. Looks like they lagged a turn here, so I'm going to try to let them throw first, just so they get their turn back. And all we need here is just double Shadow Ball plus Payback, and then we win. Alright, let's go for the Shadow Ball. We could Body Slam bait here if we were Psychotic, but we're not going to do that. Big Shadow Ball. They might try to go for a catch on this move, like right about now, but they don't. They go for the instant throw instead, which means I can overfarm here. They're 4 away from their next move, which means I can actually just reach back-to-back Shadow Balls here, and then even with a catch, that's totally fine. Okay, well, I shouldn't have thrown this anyway. Like, I should have Body Slammed if I was going to throw a Charge Attack here, but, like, I know I'm so fine this game. I know I'm fine. I don't know why I wouldn't just Body Slam that. I just knew I'd get another Shadow Ball anyway, so it's fine, it's fine. This doesn't one-shot, fun fact. This does not one-shot. But we have a full HP Corviknight, and all we need is an Air Cutter. Nice, let's go. I think I fought that trainer pretty recently, because I remember that team. I remember that Licky Licky was so strong into it. Yeah, Disarming Voice was a really interesting moveset here today. I know there's a lot of situations where you want to have all 3 attacks, right? Have that neutral damage of Disarming Voice, have the Water-type damage, have the Grass-type damage as well, but I feel like Disarming Voice, especially if your opponents are not expecting it, is a really cool moveset. And once again, congratulations to Rise for winning yet another regional championship. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.